Alright, this video is to show you how to make the total distance or displacement versus time graph for your bus data. Now, the first thing to keep in mind is that my data is going to be different from yours. So you should be using your own data charts when you plot your points and do all of your graphing, because otherwise it won't match your information. So I have a small sheet of graph paper, and I'm going to make my axis this way. So my x-axis will be at the bottom, my y-axis will be at the top. And I'm going to leave myself a good amount of space along this side for writing my numbers in. So I'm going to put my y-axis, about 3 lines in. And I'm going to mark that with my ruler. Always use a ruler when you're making a graph. I'm not going to do anything with my y-axis yet. Now I need to mark my time for my x-axis. And if you look at your data charts, you may have the same time codes for each set, but I don't. Notice I have 1.0 seconds here and 1.3 down here. So I need to make sure that my x-axis is numbered all the way out to 1.3. So 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Now I'll just draw in my line. And I'm going to go ahead and label my axis, which is time in seconds. Always put your units on your axis. Units on everything. And then I'm going to number my lines. And you can number them sideways or regular, it doesn't matter. However you can make it fit. I just like to do it this way so that my numbers aren't crowding each other out for space. Alright. So now the next thing that I have to do is to scale my y-axis. And remember, to do that, you find your highest, we're doing total distance here, so you're going to find your highest total distance. In my case, that's 89.7. I'm going to circle that so I remember which one I'm working with. Then I'm going to count lines that I have on my y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 spots that I can use on my y-axis. So then I will take 89.7, which was my highest value, divided by 12, and that gives me 7.475. I know it's hard to see the point on here. 7.475. So I'm going to round that up to the next whole number, which will be 8. So I'm actually going to count by 8s on my axis. And again, your data will be different, so make sure that you're following this process, but with your own numbers. And then I'm going to go ahead and label my y-axis, but instead of total distance, I'm going to label it displacement, just so we remember that displacement is always talking about how far did something go, where did it end up versus where did it start. And remember, we measured this one in centimeters, so it's going to be displacement in centimeters. Okay. Now you're just going to plot your data. And just like we did with the dune buggy, I want you to take your two charts and I want you to designate a color for each one. Now you can see that I've actually written my data in different colors, but you can also do something like this where you're shading in the column headers, for example, just to remind yourself which one goes with which line. And you're going to plot your points in color, and you're going to draw your lines in color on this graph and the one that we'll do tomorrow. So now when I plot my points, remember you're going to be doing time and total distance. Time and total distance. Ignore this middle column. We're not doing anything with it. It's literally just there to help give us our totals. So I'm just really quickly plotting my points here. And especially when you're counting by really big numbers, you just have to kind of do the best you can, get it in approximately the right spot, and if you're pretty close to where it exactly should be, then you're going to get a really good result. And my last one for this is 80. Now look, instead of just going in the straight line, like it did with our dune buggy, look what happens to this one. They start off really close to the 0 and then they go up faster. So in this case, this is one of the few instances where I'm going to say actually just connect your dots. Kind of connect them lightly. Don't make it a nice jaggedy line. You want to go over it so that it makes a nice, beautiful curve, just like that. Look at that gorgeous curve. And remember back from your graph examples, what is happening right here? We're going in the positive direction, positive velocity, but we've got this beautiful curve right here at the beginning, which means that we are speeding up. And isn't that what happened with the bus? So let's look at our next set of data. And again, we're going to do the same thing. I've got my color picked out, and I'm just going to plot my time and my total distance. So I'll do that really quickly here. And you can see again, this other bus was going at a slightly different speed. Yeah, so look at that. It's a nice, beautiful curve. Isn't that lovely? So once you have your lines drawn on there, you're going to take your single piece of graph paper and you're going to glue a tab right here on the right edge.